symbols, particularly when they're rendered in pictorial form, are very powerful energizers. I love what Carl Jung said, great psychologist, Swiss psychologist, that the mechanism that moves human energy is the picture symbol. And when you think about it, it's true. I mean, you take the symbol, the picture of the dollar sign. Hey, how many people have been moved by that? Or the cross, or the heart, Valentine's Day, or the earth. I mean, these are all picture symbols that move people. And that's what the tarot is meant to be. When Jenny was introducing me as an original and being able to live out aspects of life that some people don't do, it's because of this practice, this spiritual practice called the tarot. Because the tarot gives us incredible permission to be all of ourselves, which is very cool. I mean, it gives us permission to be the fool. Like, what do I know? The leap of faith and make mistakes. And to be the priest, you know, very serious kind of person. It gives us permission to be the lovers and the hermit. Wow, they're totally opposite. It gives us permission to be the priestess, ooh, the spiritual wise woman, and the emperor. Hey, it's all about sales. And it gives us permission to be the sun, radiant out there in the world, and to be the moon, very receptive, magnetic. You live the tarot, you fall in between a lot of the categories. You're not just this, or just that, or just this. You are this, and this, and this, and that. And the tarot says, because there's 4 suits in every tarot deck, right? Classic tarot, Voyager tarot, whatever tarot. This tarot, it has 4 suits of cards. 1 suit of cards is for what's going on mentally, how I think. Another suit for how I feel, emotional cards. Another suit of cards for the body, how I am in health and energy and in the physical material world. And another suit for spirit, or spirituality, or consciousness, awareness. So the tarot is saying, hey, it's not enough just to be smart. It's not enough to just to be emotionally turned on and ecstatic, if you will, or loving. It's not enough just to be successful in the world or be buffed out in the physical sense, or even be a spiritual aspirant. It's about being all of it. Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And that's what we're going to be doing with today, is playing with the 4 suits that we find in every tarot deck. And these great cards in the tarot called the Major Arcana, which are 22 archetypes, universal personality types that are found in all cultures, really, which is the heart and soul of the tarot. So what we're going to do is a 5-card reading. The title I use a lot about my practice of the tarot is what I say, fortune creation tarot. Because, you know, a lot of people, if you ask them, well, the tarot cards, they say, oh, fortune telling. All right, whatever. You know, and I say, fortune telling? Really? Good luck. It's, you know, it's all about fortune creation. Using the tarot, any tarot deck, any deck, if you will, as a map that shows us how to create the fortunes, the futures that we desire. That means tarot is a very proactive kind of tool. It's an action tool. It's not just a passive, get a card and look at it, and if you don't like it, put it away and pick another card. It's not about that. Well, you know, this is the year of the priestess, 2009. 2009 equals 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2 in the tarot, which has numerology, astrology, mythology, and orology, and all the ologies involved in it. But the number 2 card in the tarot is always the priestess. I tried to bring this deck into the 21st century a little bit. I started making it in 1981 with my artistic partner, Ken Knudsen. And 4 years later, we had a deck, 1985. But when we were making this, I kept thinking 21st century, 21st century. And I wanted to make a tarot that was no longer medieval, no longer for just white people. no longer a deck of medieval symbols of kings and queens and sword and blood and castles and all that, which I honestly appreciate that symbology very much so. And, my favorite word, and, I thought, well, you know, let's honor this ancient great map of life, the tarot, but put new clothes on these characters, you know, and make it multicultural. So when you look at Voyager tarot, you're looking at a deck that is for people of all colors. I'll never forget the first man who ever passed my correspondence course, because I'm an educator. I mean, that's what I love to do is teach. As an African American, which I thought was pretty cool. And he was a Presbyterian minister, which I thought was even more interesting. But as a black man, I said, Will, why Voyager? He said, hey, it's the first deck ever, there's only black people in it. Right livelihood is when you take your spiritual path and purpose, and with play and passion, and you know, spin it into a profession and profits. Right livelihood, and that's what so many people now are about in terms of having readings. You know, I'm tired of doing this job. It really is boring. I don't like it, and besides, I just got unemployment. I want to find something meaningful, work that's meaningful, work that pays, and work that is fun and that you feel passionate about. Oh, what's not to love about that? And I was so fortunate 31 years ago, whatever, to have had a reading with a traditional classic tarot. I said, this stuff is hot. I mean, as a kid, I was always playing baseball and stuff. I had cards. I couldn't stand cards, canasta, whatever. This is not for me. Now, what do I do with the rest of my life? You know, talk about prediction fiction. How could you ever know how anybody's ever going to grow up? But I found tarot to be a marvelously empowering, entertaining, edutaining tool that I felt I could do. And I just started taking a few classes, and I was off and reading cards. So I'm telling you this because this is a great skill to learn for yourself, and you can make a major difference in somebody else's life by giving them a reading, even if you really don't know too much about the cards. My style of doing readings is very interactive. I never arrogate to myself that I know you better than you know you. I think that's insane to me. You know, it's about using the cards as a map to show us how, the process of how to create what we want.